Well, hey there, everyone. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Welcome back to Southeast Louisiana. Heck, I don't know what day it is. May 7th? Why do I keep wanting to say May? I do not understand this. I'm sorry. It's August 7th. Yeah. Anyway, feels like May because we pulled honey, right? Yeah. All right. Well, it's a beautiful morning. Sun's coming up. It's going to warm up hot as usual, but that's summer. Getting ready to break a good sweat. Got something I want to do with y'all. And it's going to be about combining colonies. So, let me get my stuff together and we will get this done. And I'll explain as I go my philosophy or teaching or whatever you want to say on combining. Because remember, this is a vlog. This is not a how-to video. It's a how I do video. All right. This is going to be a vlog showing how and why I combine a colony, because I don't just willy-nilly combine anything. And, you know, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent, that's what it is. So let's go. I've been going through all my colonies. I've got everybody down to only one super if they're strong, and those are my brood supers. You know, that had brood in them. Pretty sure there might be one or two that's not, but for the most part, all my supers that have brood in them are the only ones I've got left, except for what I got to do. See, it's except for what I have to do today. I can't speak. This is B25. That's a brood 25, meaning that had brood. As I extract honey, and I've told y'all this before, I will consolidate all the supers that had, or all the frames that had brood. Wow, look at the pollen. I need to have my pollen traps on. A lot of pollen coming in. Anyway, what I do is I consolidate frames. I make sure that if it was a brood frame, it goes into one box. And as I fill those boxes up, I label them. That was a B24, which became a B25. And then this year, and I tried a little bit of it last year, doing it more so this year. I'm going to store these above excluders on strong colonies so that they're guarded from wax moth. I don't have a ton of problem with wax moth in the brood supers. And I definitely have no wax moth in the normal supers that are clear, that didn't have brood, but every now and then one or two boxes might get ruined because I don't put anything in my supers when I store them. I store them in open air and light under a shelter so they don't get wet. And so that's what we got. We got either double deeps or one super on top. Maybe some singles with just one super. Now, some of the singles aren't brood supers because, like that one right over there in the middle, that's not, but they just needed the space. They got honey in there. I might leave it on there and watch their weight after the fall. And then maybe I'll pull it and harvest it, and then if they've got enough in their deep. But they're bringing in pollen like crazy this morning. But all these colonies, as you can see, that was one that went queenless during the season that we shook out and combined, that open space. You saw I have those 4 dead outs. Well, 3, but 4 counting the apame. And then I brought one in from the out yard, which was expected. But everybody else, I've been assessing all my colonies. I got about 15 left to go. I got about 65 or so, and I think about 15 are left. 12 or 15 on the other side of the yard. And that's what I got to do today. But I went through them all yesterday and the day before. Well, you saw the packages, went through those. Everybody's looking pretty good. There's a couple weak ones. And this is one that has a terrible brood pattern. This one right there. And a lot of bald brood. So that's telling me. And so bald brood can signify a couple things. One thing it can signify is that you got those lesser wax moth, not the greater wax moth larvae, but the lesser wax moth larvae burrowing below the brood. But the way it's sporadic, I don't think it's that, because it's not in rows, it's not any uniformity. I think it's mites. That's the other thing you can see with ball brood. If it's a hygienic colony, which it may be, and that's a good thing, but it's a bad thing that they're having to pull mites out. And then the one next to it is one, remember, if you remember back, we found a bunch of dead bees, and you can still see a lot of dead bees in front of this colony. It's like it's dying and reproducing. She's got brood. It smells different, but not bad, and they're just weak. And then, for whatever reason, that one's weak. It's just these three. Everybody else is either average or good in the entire yard that we went through so far. Seeing a lot more beetles now, so anywhere there were beetles, I'm putting in interventions. And everybody's getting introducers. Go ahead and get that done. I want introducers on the medium setting on all of them, because robbing's coming on. They need to have some guards, small areas to guard. So today we're going to do a combine with newspaper. I know you don't have to do it with newspaper, but I'm going to do it with newspaper because I've always done it with newspaper. I like the theory, and the theory sounds good to me, and if it sounds good and it's worked, and that's how I did it when I first started, then I'm going to continue doing it. I know the commercial guys, the big guys and all, they just slap them on each other and they have no problems. Maybe they do. I want to take every precaution I can to make it a successful combine, and needed or not needed, I do it. And remember, not a how-to video, and this is not a how-to on combines. I'm going to tell you my philosophy on them and why I do what I do. Let's go combine what I call number 17, because that's 16 and that's 17. There's a lot of bees left in this, and they actually had a super honey on them. They had a drone laying queen in there. And over here we have our two singles, and I do have a B25 super on there that I'm storing. They're both pretty strong, but remember, we got a lot of beetles over here. But what I'd like to do is, I don't want to waste the bees that are in that hive that went drone layer. And that's what I was telling you, went drone layer. I killed that queen. I had 2 of those this year. I killed both queens and replaced them with a new queen, and one took and that one didn't. I left them because they had a super. I didn't dig in them, and there were enough bees to guard the honey until I could get it harvested, and I would remedy it if they didn't die out first. Then they were thriving, so I just left them alone, honestly. Came back just off of vacation, and there's no queen in there. So we're going to combine one of the deeps each with one of these hives each. So let's check our beetle devices. But well, actually what I'm going to do here first is just fume this super out, and I'm going to have to give it to somebody else to guard. I don't know if the bees are ornery from yesterday, why they're kind of antsy, but they were a little bit no fun at the other side of the yard. We did put some traps in here. I expect to see many beetles. There's, well, not near as many beetles, but let's see what the traps caught. This has been a day now. Has it been a day? How long has it been? It's been 2 days. Oh my goodness, look at the beetles in there. Robert Peebles, wow, look at these traps. It almost needs to be changed. Look at the beetles in there. Can y'all see that in the camera? Oh my goodness, filled it up. Let's shake it up a little bit. Good deal. Now look, they didn't put hardly any beetles in that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch them, because they're obviously trapping the beetles on this side. And I saw a lot less beetles. If there's somewhere for them to put the beetles and they'll kill the beetles off, which the diatomaceous earth will do, they work. So let's put this one over here. Because what you don't want to do is, I had this happen on one. Yesterday I went in a trap that had been in there for like a month and a half, 2 months, and I didn't get back in and check it. There were beetles coming out of the trap, and like, what in the world? It was so full of carcasses, they were walking on top of them. So it does have to be changed out. But as you can see, this is fresh diatomaceous earth, this is not, so, which I'm sitting here doing all this, and I'm going to take this off. That's a good sign though. I saw like 8 or 9 beetles on the lid, where I saw like 30 or 40 yesterday. So we're going to fume this. And I'll take these back out. We're going to swap these out, put them on the bottom, because we got boxes going on, but we're bringing bees over too. So hopefully that doesn't overwhelm these bees with space. That's not what we want to do. But let's put a fume board on, see if we can get these bees out of here while we go work the combine. All right, so I'm going to go let this fume for a while and figure out where I want to put it. I got a strong colony over here I can put this super on. I don't want to do, I got everybody set, so I don't want to do a bunch of flipping and flopping with colonies, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to put my gloves on. The bees are getting crazy for whatever reason. They're kind of not so much fun today. But yeah, I don't want to do mixing and matching. I just want to move that super somewhere on somebody strong and be done with it, because I've got everybody settled based on strength and who kept supers and where I moved them to make sure they were being guarded. And then around November, when the wax moth threat is gone, we'll go ahead and fume them out on a nice warm day, which we have in November and December, and get them back on the stand. And any honey that's in them, the bees can rob it out, and they can use that in the wintertime. So yeah, the bees are, I don't know, they're bouncy. Very bouncy today. All right, this colony here is pretty strong. It's one of my new queens from last year. Definitely, the thing about new queens, you can definitely see the difference in them. They got some beetle issues, but I'm gonna put some traps in here with them. Give these bees a super to guard. This lid needs to be replaced because it's got a lot of crevices for hive beetles. I have to say beetles, because the camera, for whatever reason, picks that up as stop doing its thing, and it shuts down on me. Okay, we're gonna put this on there. Give this to guard up. I'm gonna tell you, these traps work. These traps, these Robert Peeble traps that he prints out, oh my gosh, these things work good. Wow, they work good. Super impressed with those. Gonna give them a different lid, which I think is actually gonna help with cracks and crevices where we've got the beetles at. I think that'll do it. I don't have my pen with me, but I'm gonna put this lid back on here so I can see that it's got the 2 blue dots until I can mark it. If I got 2 blue dots, that means it's a marked queen, blue year. If it's 1, it's just a new queen, not marked. Like that one's not marked, this one's not marked. I'll mark them as we get into the following year. I just didn't get to it. It's not priority. I keep up to date my cards. So let's do a removal on this. Still a lot of bees that come and go from this, but they're doing nothing but dying off slowly but surely. So let's put them to good use. All the field force will come back and go to either hive on each side, and that'll be good. I'm not going to pick up the bottom board. Well, I will at first, because I got to move it. Let's move it out some. The one thing about the old hive lifter is you definitely got to configure your stands properly for them. There we go. Let's break it loose. And I'm going to break the top loose too, so that's ready to go when we get over there. I'm going to take this off because that's no more. Got a lot more work to do today. Got to finish these other colonies up, so I need to get busy. I'm goofing around, taking my time when I need to get done because I want to be done for the week. So, about combining with me. Well, let's talk about that for me. I already showed you I do the newspaper. I believe in it. It's just old school. It worked for the old timers, right? I call people old timers now. I'm old. It's gonna work for me. There we go. Dropping this would not be fun. So we're gonna leave the bottom board there. We'll let them bees, they'll figure their own way out. We're gonna take this over and let's talk about my combining philosophy, I guess you could say. Ooh, it's top heavy now. All right, ride along as we go, and let's take it slow and easy. But we're combining 2 colonies, 2 boxes in beetle infested territory, so we're gonna have to watch these things. I'll take my time, go easy. Here's how I feel about combining. So combining obviously is a quick fix, works good, saves a workforce for you. Remember, these bees are passing. Any brood that's left in here, you save that. But these bees weren't going to last much longer anyway, so it's not like I'm giving them a ton of bees. I'm more so giving them a lot of space, so I got to be careful with that. Combining, for me, it's a good thing and all, but what I do, I don't go willy-nilly. I can't afford to combine something and ruin a good queen. I worry about that every time. I'm gonna worry about this on this one. But I gotta know the history of the hive and why it's doing what it's doing. I know this was a drone-laying queen, and I pinched her, found her and pinched her. She went 3 weeks, drone-laying queen. I pinched her, replaced her, they didn't take her. The other one took, I had another one do it, and they took their queen. This one didn't. So, I know her history. It wasn't a sickness that got them, it was a dwindling. They couldn't make emergency, well, they did make emergency cells, but what good's that gonna do on a drone colony, right? So I feel safe to combine bees that weren't sick. The reason I don't willy-nilly combine just because I see a weak colony, for me, now this is, you know, commercial beekeepers, they have their reasons. They don't have time to goof around with stuff. They got to get it done. Me, if I had a sick colony, I'm going to put it on a good colony. I might combine 2 weak colonies, see who comes out of it. I'm winded. Because, you know, they could come out of it. I don't know. Maybe they could, maybe they couldn't. But what I don't want to do is combine a sickly colony on a good colony. This one, though, wasn't sickly. It dwindled because it was a drone layer. It wasn't laying workers. It was a drone layer. Laying workers you can combine, too. Contrary to popular belief. But I don't do that either. I still shake them. It's just what I've always done. I like it. I like sticking with what works for me. I do experiment, but I'm careful about experimentation. So what I want to do is scrape the bottom of that, lay it on there, and then take the top and move it over there. That's what we're going to do. But yeah, that's my philosophy on combining. Let me go back to that. Make sure so you understand that I just don't willy-nilly throw everything on top of other colonies because I just don't want to take that chance. I don't want to take that chance. Alrighty, let's get this fixed. All right, combine is done. Now, we're gonna take this box off, put it on this one. The newspaper is based on trying to combine them to where they get used to each other slowly. I see nothing wrong with keeping with that tradition. I tell you what, it's hard to breathe in this humidity some days. You hear me kind of winded. It's this humidity is something. All right, let's see. I don't see any beetles popping out. Well, there's some. Let's look at the beetles in there. Look at that. Is that amazing? Heck, I need to put more diatomaceous earth in there. Oh, they're coming out. You want them to stay in that diatomaceous earth, I had to go get some more. Wow, this one caught just as many. I'm going to have to refill these. Look at that. Guys, look at that. Look at the beetles in there. I'm going to dump them out on a lid and show y'all. That's what we trapped in 2 days. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So yeah, newspaper combine. It's what I do. Remember, how I do, not how to. I do a couple slits. I don't want them to come together too soon. That's good enough. All right, both are on pretty square. Let's get rid of this burr comb. Put some beetle traps in. I am taking my time today. I need to speed up. Another thing I like about Robert's traps is you can push them down in there. They'll spread the frames for you because they're strong enough. There we go. I want to give them this new lid. I'm giving them a new lid because the other one's got nooks and crannies in it that the beetles like to get into. I'm going to put this one up here. Yeah, this was a good colony before everything went downhill with it. Yeah, another look at the beetles. Pretty good. Well, that's it. That took longer than it should have. Well, folks, that's going to be it. I'm thoroughly soaked. These early cooler mornings are fine, but the humidity is hard to even breathe in. It just gets so humid that you can't dry off as you're sweating. It's hard enough in a bee suit because the sun's not blazing yet. When it starts blazing, it gets hotter, but you dry off a little easier. So one or the other. So gonna go get some water, and I got to finish up the rest of my assessments. I didn't take you through all those. It's just going through putting probiotics on and just looking at hive strength. And if there's anything sketchy, pull it out and see what brood's in there. And look, everybody has brood. They're laying in. A couple weak ones I mentioned. So now you know how I do combines. This is how I do, why I do, my philosophy behind it, or my ideas behind it. That's just how I do it. I will have to come back and watch these. Make sure they're not getting infested with beetles. Remember what I said, or if I even said it in a video. I thought I put it in there. Maybe I edited it out. I don't know. But strong colonies won't succumb to beetles. I've just never seen it. A good strong colony will corral them and hold them, but usually will never succumb if they're strong. The problem is one misstep and they succumb. Well, we could have given these a misstep with this, so I got to be careful. We're in a very shaded area. This is not the greatest spot because of the soil, so we got a lot of beetles. We've seen it, but we're trapping a lot, and that's a good thing. So that's what we're going to keep on doing. We're going to check on them later and make sure they're good. But hey, that's going to be it for now. My glasses are fogging up. I need to go get some water and then get busy on the other side of the yard. So I appreciate all y'all watching. I really, really do. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.